Hello, my name is Logan Grasseth. I am the assistant principal at Cascade Middle School in the Bethel School District. I previously was a special education teacher. I'm a member of the Confederated Tribes of Siletz Indians, and I'm a Sapsik'gsmåla grad. So today you guys get to hear my teacher story, so I'm going to do just a quick introduction of me and the path that it took for me to get to where I am right now. So starting off with my family has been the biggest support network that I have had during this time, and I'm really spoiled and blessed to have them on my side. They instilled a value in education that's just been imperative to my career and really valuable. That's both of my parents, kind of bottom center, Tracy and Jesse. Education wasn't pushed onto them very hard. So as kids, school wasn't as valuable to them. And it's something that they used to tell me regularly and something that they wanted to make sure that changed. And so regularly growing up, I heard about college and how I was going to go to college and the experiences that I would have and how awesome school is. And really just kind of that mindset stuck with me. And school was always something that I loved. My other support network, my wife, Jeannie, and my two kids, she has made the process so much easier by helping me study, helping me quiz, and reminding me why I went into education all the time, and helping me raise two beautiful daughters who are strong-willed and passionate. And then my little sister on the bottom left with her husband, Jimmy, constantly pushing me to be better as she is in her doctoral program now. Not for education, but to actually be a physician, and just constantly pushing me to be better. And so I've just had a really strong support network that has helped me and pushed the value of education on me from the start. Sports also were a huge part of my life and really helped me want to go into teaching. I always thought I'd want to coach, and not that coaching led me directly to want to be a teacher, but definitely gave me a lot of experience working with kids that I loved. And so I was a wrestler from kindergarten all the way through high school, and in high school got the opportunity to earn senior credits by coaching the middle school wrestling team, and then club teams, and then actually coached all the way up into when I was a teacher as well, coaching some middle school and high school wrestling. Disc golf, I was an avid disc golfer growing up, started disc golf club in high school and actually played with some of the teachers there. And that led to me going on to the University of Oregon and helping start the disc golf club at the U of O, which was an absolute amazing opportunity, and really got to spend some time doing that. And my little sister actually got the opportunity to go and participate in the U of O disc golf club as well. And so just kind of the sports aspect really helped tie me to school as well and kept me connected with school and really encouraged that love of education. So, like I said, I'm a member of the Confederated Tribes of Siletz Indians. And so when I started in 4J, I started with the 4J Natives program, Brenda and Joe, when I was really young, and really helped keep me tied to my culture as well as going to the reservation and seeing family regularly, and all of our powwows and culture camps, and kept me really tied to it. But it was really nice having those experiences built into my school, and made me feel really valued. They used to come to lunches in my elementary school. That's one of the totem poles that was designed by them was actually up in my elementary school. It was just a really awesome experience to have. I went to Eastside Elementary back when it existed, no longer here, but then went from there to Roosevelt Middle School, where I had a blast. It's actually a yearbook photo from my 8th grade graduating homeroom, and then on to South Eugene. At South is where I really kind of got the feeling of wanting to go into education. That's I had an opportunity to work in the child care program there, and that kind of hooked me with working with youth. I realized that infants were a little younger than I liked. I preferred the toddlers and a little bit older, and so I wasn't sure if I wanted elementary or what I wanted, until I kind of delved into more formal teaching at the U of O. And so my next move right out of high school was to the U of O. I started with the freshman interest group Thinking of Teaching, which is just a group of a lot of freshmen all with like interests. And so I went in knowing I wanted to be a teacher from the get-go. I went straight from the freshman interest group Thinking of Teaching to the Education Foundations program to help with my bachelor's degree. In that program, I got to try a little bit of everything. So I got to go into elementary school, got to go into high school. At this point, I was really thinking high school mathematics was going to be where I wanted to end up. And then got a taste of middle school, and then decided to do a minor in special education as well. Originally thinking it was just going to be for an endorsement, just to try it out, but absolutely fell in love. That's the small group aspect of it, getting to work with students and see huge progress and huge growth and building the relationships with students in the small group environment was absolutely joyful, and I had an absolute blast doing that. During my Ed Foundations time, I often would pop into the education buildings and talk to Allison, who was the head of the Sapsik'ვალá program at the time, and pick her brain. And Marjorie Wise was there, who was one of my elementary school friends' moms, and really just kept me tied to that education building. And I pursued my master's in special education from the U of O and just fell in love from the get-go. I went straight from there to Lebanon, where I taught 1 year just up the road, and then determined that I wanted to work in Bethel for one of my principals when I was student teaching, who I learned a lot from Amy Tidwell, and so that kind of drew me to going towards Bethel, and had the ability to be a special education teacher in an extended resource room there for 5 years before looking at administration. And just timing of it worked out really well, and the assistant principal position came open in the building that I had taught at. And I'm now in my 2nd year as an administrator, and truthfully love school as much today as I did 18, 19 years ago when I was starting out. But really, it started with understanding the value of education and school being fun for me. There was a lot of teachers who worked really hard to make sure that I enjoyed school and to make sure that it was fun. And truthfully, from elementary until high school, having relationships with my tribe and with the 4J Natives program, and then having the ability to tutor for multiple different tribes, has really kept me tied to school and tied to my culture at the same time. And I don't want that to end. So that's kind of my story. I know it's short, but education is a true passion of mine, and I hope that if anyone's feeling the same way, that I can help support you in any way possible and give you any tips, tricks, or pointers along the ride. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your day.